Rise and ground, folks. Guys, I am on the way to replace, I believe this is an 80% furnace. We came out here a few months ago for the estimate. Actually, we came out here for AC maintenance that turned into an estimate. This customer has an 80% furnace and coil and condenser. I believe the coil and condenser is like less than 10 years old, but the furnace is like damn near close to 20 years old. But as soon as it came out there for the maintenance, the blower motor was locked up. We gave him a quote to replace the motor and also a quote for the furnace. The customer, I believe, was going out of town that week, and he came back last week, and now he said that he wants to get the furnace replaced and start off with a clean slate. AC's newer, and he wants to start off with a new furnace. But guys, we're almost there right now. Let's get started. I'll see y'all when I get inside. All right, guys. This is our furnace that we're taking out. This is a 80% 100K BTU on, I believe, a 3.5 ton or 4 ton AC. The AC was put in 2018. Last time we came out for the maintenance, still in good condition. But this furnace had the blower motor locked up, so we're here to decommission this bad boy. But just as a heads up, let me zoom out. The new furnace is about 11 inches shorter than the old furnace. So what we're going to do, instead of us strapping up the coil and just sliding the new furnace underneath the coil, if we do that, we're going to have a gap. So what we're going to do is we're going to pump the system down, cut the lines, and drop the new coil down. Yes, there will be a 10 to 11 inch gap on top, but I'm going to take this old transition out, and we're going to put a brand new transition in, a longer one, that's going to bridge the gap on top. Now, for you guys that don't know, pump downs are very effective. Pump down is storing the refrigerant temporarily in the condenser to make a repair on the low side of the system without replacing a refrigerant. The only stipulation to doing pump downs is you have to confirm that your compressor is actually pumping. Because if you try to pump down the AC unit with a bad compressor, it's not going to work. You may hear the compressor run, but if it doesn't pump, then it's not going to pump down, and you'll still have to remove all that old refrigerant and put in new refrigerant. But the fact that I know the refrigerant is still good, which is 410A, I want to keep what's in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the lines, take the old furnace out, put a new furnace in, drop the coil, and once I have the coil permanently in its new position, then I'm going to replace the dryer and reconnect the lines, pressure test it, and pull a vacuum. So guys, this takes longer, but the point is, if we try to lower this coil 11 inches down, imagine how this is going to look. It's probably going to be tilted. So the biggest thing is with these coils, you want to make sure that they're leveled. Even if you're not replacing the coil, even if you're just doing a furnace, when you reattach the existing evap coil, make sure it's leveled so this customer won't have any future drainage problems. But all right, guys, let me get to pumping it down. I'll be back. All right, guys. I got my flue pipe out. Got my electric out. I just got to disconnect the gas, and I don't want to redo this plenum too much, but I'm just disconnecting the top of the coil, and I got to disconnect the return. So once I slide this out and fasten the coil onto the new furnace, I only need one piece on all 4 sides, so it'll look a lot better. All right, let's keep it rolling here. I'll see y'all in a little bit. All right, guys, 10,500,097 screws later, I got the back of this return out. Now comes the easy part. Let me get the hand truck and let's get this out the way. All right, guys. We got that furnace up the hill, down the stairs, and back to the truck. What I'm gonna do, I had 2 different options here. I could have brought this new furnace down and prepped it, but guys, my preference is I like unboxing and prepping my furnace at the truck. I'm talking a new furnace, so once I bring this down, it's really set in place. But here, what I like to do is make my opening for the return. And also if I have to put a street elbow on my gas valve, if I had to readjust the gas line coming out the furnace, I like to do that while I have space, because guys, I mean, that basement is spacious compared to like usually what we see, but still in all, once I bring a new piece of equipment in, I like to do as little as possible as far as like modifications, because once you start putting things down on the floor, that's when they either get broken or they go missing. So, but all right guys, that's enough yapping in the trap. What I'm gonna do is unbox this, open everything up, get the manual out and all that good stuff, and let's bring this downstairs. I'll be right back. All right guys, I'm making my cuts, and to ensure that I only do this once and I don't have to make any more cuts, these are my rough sizes here, and once I put all 4 pieces in individually, I can trim it to however much I want, just to make sure everything's snug. I already got 1 down, 3 to go. Let's get to it. I'll be right back. All right guys, I got my return taken care of, and you see, slip, measure twice, cut once, cut the trim off, make my bends, bada bing, bada boo. If you do installs, you know exactly what that means. But all right guys, let me get to it. It's already starting to get into the 90s. I want to get this metal done so I can get to my refrigerant lines here. But all right, I'll be right back. Let me get this taken care of. All right guys, we got our plenum done. What you didn't see is inside we taped it just to get it a double seal, and then we taped it on the outside. That's done. And also, time for a snack break. Make sure you guys are staying hydrated, and also keep some protein with you, whether it be protein bars or my favorite, the Jumbo Slim Jim, 11 grams, baby. Can't go wrong with that. But all right, guys, it is currently 95 degrees out. This is peak season, baby. What I'm gonna do now, this is 7/8 and 3/8. I'm gonna cut this liquid line, filter dryer out, put another one in, and then couple my 7/8 suction line together. But before I do that, I gotta put my vent pipe in so my refrigerant line won't be in the way. As you see here with the old furnace, the vent pipe was further out. But with this one, the vent pipe is gonna be a little bit closer in. That's why I had to cut the coil and temporarily see where it's gonna go. There's no way, if I would have kept the lines connected, there's no way that coil would have dropped from up here all the way down here. So I definitely needed that correction there, and that's why I'm glad we pumped this unit down earlier. But all right guys, let me get what I need, and let's get the vent pipe in first, and then let's get our copper fittings. I'll see y'all in a little bit. All right guys, time for the tool of the day. Good old swedging kit. I don't know how much acetylene I have, and since I'm done with 7/8, I definitely want to use as less fittings as possible. So instead of using 2 couplings, making a total of 8 joints I have to braze, including the liquid line. Now that gets reduced to 6 because swedging opens up both ends. So slip, we're good to go. And same with this. This is the swedged end. That's the normal end. All right, let's get to it. I'll be back. All right, guys, you hear that? That's not the sound of the dog pissing. I'm just testing my drains. We're good. Vent pipe is on. I open my valves. Leak testing my gas line. I gotta go outside and get the door, and I'm gonna test the heat and then test the AC. Let me get what I need, and Let's get this show on the road. Thought I had this zoomed out. Ugh. Hold on. All right, let me put this on. I'll be back. All right, guys. I had the customer test the heat. Now let me put the doors on and check the AC. I'll be back. All right, guys. We just turned the unit on. My supply is dropping. Everything's rocking and rolling. I gotta go out in front, clean up, but kill two birds with one stone. We can definitely test this AC unit while we clean up. Everything's rocking and rolling. There you have it, brand new Trane furnace. This customer is good to go. Peace out. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.